28 degrees in Miami right now. 28. Does your city know what S coming in the next 72 hours? Right now, at this very moment, over 40 million Americans are dealing with temperatures at least 20 degrees below normal. Records are shattering from Jacksonville to Raleigh. Iguanas are literally falling from trees in South Florida. But here, what almost nobody is talking about, this Arctic blast you are feeling right now, is just the appetizer. The main course arrives this weekend, and it's going to hit cities that think they've already seen the worst of it. So drop your location in the comments right now, because in about 3 minutes I am going to tell you the exact hour your temperatures crater this weekend. And I mean crater. We talking about wind chills that could challenge records in places like Boston, Philadelphia, and even as far south as Atlanta. Let me give you the timing for the major metros first, because this is critical. New York City, you are sitting at 31 degrees right now. By Sunday morning, you will be at 9. Chicago, you are at 12 currently. Sunday morning brings you to -6. Dallas, you are actually not bad today at 42, but Wednesday afternoon you drop to 31, and that cold lingers for days. Atlanta, you're at 29 this morning, coldest you've been in years, but Saturday night takes you back down to 23 with wind chills in the single digits. And Los Angeles, you are one of the few winners here, staying in the mid-60s all week while the rest of the country suffers. Now, the weather pattern that setting up over the next 7 days is going to surprise a lot of people. The jet stream is doing something really interesting. Right now, it is in this massive southward dip across the eastern United States. That's why Miami is colder than it should ever be. That's why the southeast got buried in snow yesterday. But starting tomorrow afternoon, that dip lifts northward. The jet stream basically flattens out for about 48 hours. What does that mean for you? Tuesday and Wednesday are going to feel like a break. Not warm, but quieter. Less intense. Cities along the Gulf Coast will actually climb back into the 50s and low 60s. The Carolinas will finally melt some of that snow that piled up yesterday. But then, and this is where things get really interesting, by Thursday, the jet stream reorganizes into a completely different configuration. Instead of that north-south dip, we going into a northwest to southeast flow pattern. And that pattern favors something very specific. Alberta clippers, multiple ones, coming out of Canada in waves. And when I say waves, I mean we could see 3 separate systems between Thursday and Sunday, each one bringing snow to the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and potentially the Northeast. Hold on, let me back up for a second, because I want to make sure you understand why this matters. An Alberta clipper isn't like the big coastal storms we've been seeing. They fast moving, they typically dawn to produce huge snowfall totals, but they efficient cold air delivery systems. Think of them like express packages of Arctic air, and when you get multiple clippers in a row, the cold just keeps building. That's what's happening this weekend. Layer after layer of cold air, with some snow mixed in, creating a weekend that could be absolutely brutal for the upper Midwest and Northeast. Now, let me walk you through this day by day, because the evolution is actually pretty fascinating. Today, Monday, the focus stays on this current Arctic blast. It's already in place. If you are in the southeast, you're reliving through the coldest morning you've had in years. Birmingham, Alabama, you're at 21 degrees right now. That is 12 degrees below where you should be. Montgomery is at 24. Even Pensacola is at 27. This is legitimately dangerous cold for infrastructure that isn't built for it. Pipes are going to burst. Cars aren't going to start. This isn't just uncomfortable. This is damaging cold for the South. Moving up to the mid-Atlantic, Washington, D.C., you're at 26. Richmond is 24. Raleigh, after getting hammered by snow yesterday, you are sitting at 25 degrees with all that snow on the ground. The combination of snow cover and clear skies tonight could actually take you down into the teens by tomorrow morning. And Philadelphia, you are at 28 right now, heading for low 20s tonight. Northeast, you are in the deep freeze. Boston is at 19 degrees. Providence is 18. Hartford is 17. These are the kinds of mornings where your car door freezes shut, where you can feel the cold through your coat in about 30 seconds. And it's going to stay this way through tomorrow. The Midwest is actually seeing the most extreme conditions right now. Minneapolis, URE at -3. -3 in early February isn't that unusual for you, but the wind chills are pushing -25, and that getting into dangerous territory even for you. Milwaukee is at 7 degrees, Chicago at 12, Detroit at 15, Cleveland at 19, Indianapolis at 21. All of these cities are running 15 to 25 degrees below normal. Tuesday brings the first shift. That jet stream reconfiguration I mentioned starts to happen. High pressure builds in behind this Arctic front, and that high pressure creates this temporary calm. Temperatures along the Gulf Coast actually recover nicely. New Orleans goes from 34 today to 56 tomorrow. Houston climbs from 39 to 58. Even Atlanta gets up to 43, which will feel downright pleasant compared to this morning. But notice I said temporary calm, because Wednesday is when the next system starts to organize. A weak, low-pressure system develops over the Ohio Valley late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now, this isn't going to be a blockbuster storm. The models are actually in pretty good agreement about that. But it's going to spread light to moderate snow across a pretty wide area. Indianapolis, you could see 2 to 4 inches Wednesday morning. Columbus, similar numbers. Cincinnati, maybe 3 to 5 inches. Louisville gets clipped with 1 to 3. And this snow extends eastward into West Virginia. Charleston could pick up 3 to 4 inches and even touches parts of Western Virginia. Here's what nobody is talking about with this Wednesday system. The snow itself isn't the main story. The main story is what comes behind it. Another cold front. And this cold front is going to reinforce the cold air that's already in place across the eastern United States. So just when cities were starting to warm up a little bit, just when it was starting to feel manageable, temperatures drop again. Let me give you Wednesday's afternoon highs for perspective. Minneapolis, you only reach 15 degrees. That's your high. Chicago gets to 26, Detroit reaches 29, Cleveland makes it to 31. These are late winter numbers in early February, and they resetting up the pattern for what comes next. Thursday is the quiet day, the calm before the storm, literally. Most of the country sees quiet weather. No major precipitation systems, but if you know what to look for in the upper atmosphere, you can see it building. 2 separate disturbances tracking across Canada, both of them diving southeastward, both of them loaded with cold air, both of them positioned to become those Alberta clippers I mentioned earlier. And this is where I need to tell you about the model disagreement because it matters for your weekend forecast. The American GFS model brings these 2 systems across the Midwest and Northeast as separate events. System 1 on Friday morning, System 2 on Saturday morning, with distinct snowfall areas for each. The European model, which has frankly been more accurate lately, suggests these systems could phase together merge, basically into one larger storm system by Saturday. If that happens, snowfall totals would be higher, duration would be longer, and the area affected would be broader. I am leaning toward the European Model S solution right now, but that could change with tonight's model runs. This is exactly the kind of forecast that needs daily updates. Drop your location in the comments if you haven't already, because tomorrow's forecast is going to have much better clarity on this, and I'll call out specific cities based on what you tell me. Let's talk Friday, assuming the European model is closer to reality. Snow develops Friday morning across the upper Midwest. Minneapolis, you are looking at snowfall starting around 7 a.m., continuing through the afternoon. Accumulations of 48 inches by Friday evening. Madison, Wisconsin, similar timeline and similar totals. Milwaukee gets into it by mid-morning, probably 3 to 6 inches by evening. This snow is lake enhanced, which means bands could be intense. Visibility drops quickly when these bands set up. By Friday afternoon, the snow spreads into Michigan. Grand Rapids could see 5 to 8 inches. Detroit gets 3 to 5. Northern Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, you could be looking at 8 to 12 inches in the heaviest bands. This is your kind of snow. You rebuilt for this. But it's still going to make Friday evening travel pretty difficult. Friday evening into Friday night, the snow expands eastward. Cleveland sees snow developing around dinner time. Pittsburgh gets it shortly after. Buffalo, you are going to get absolutely hammered Friday night into Saturday morning. Lake effect snow combines with the system snow. We could be talking about 10 to 15 inches for you, maybe more in the southern suburbs. Now here's where things get really interesting. By Saturday morning, if these systems have indeed phased together like the European model suggests, we are looking at a significant snowstorm for parts of New England. Boston, Providence, Hartford, Portland. All of you could see 6 to 10 inches Saturday into Saturday night. The snow would start Saturday morning, continue through the day, taper Saturday evening. But even if the systems Don-T fully merge, you are still getting snow, just maybe 3 to 6 inches instead of 6 to 10. Either way, Saturday is going to be a snowy, cold day for New England. And here's the kicker. While all this snow is happening, look at what's happening to temperatures. Saturday morning lows are going to be absolutely brutal. Minneapolis bottoms out at -8. Chicago hits 4 degrees. Detroit gets to 10. Cleveland reaches 12. Pittsburgh at 14. Buffalo at 11. Syracuse at 9. Albany at 7. Boston at 12. These are Saturday morning lows with wind chills running 15 to 25 degrees colder than that. Now let me talk about the wind for a second, because this is a detail that could make Saturday particularly miserable for the Northeast. When low-pressure systems develop and intensify off the New England coast, which looks increasingly likely for Saturday, they create tight pressure gradients. Tight pressure gradients mean strong winds. We could be looking at sustained winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts to 45 across coastal New England on Saturday. That doesn't sound that bad until you realize it is happening while temperatures are in the teens and snow is falling. Wind chills could drop into the negative single digits for Boston, Providence, and Portland. That's genuinely dangerous cold, even for cities accustomed to winter. Sunday morning could actually be the coldest morning of this entire pattern for many northeastern cities. Boston could hit single digits. New York City might see low teens. Philadelphia gets to around 15. These are temperatures we don't typically see until late January, and here they are in early February. Let me shift focus to the cities that aren't getting snow but are absolutely getting the cold. Nashville, you're caught in this pattern where you keep getting cold shots without any precipitation. You were at 28 this morning, you will warm to 42 by Tuesday, then drop back to 33 by Thursday, struggle to reach 38 on Friday, and sit at 34 on Saturday. For you, this is just a persistent chill that won to let go. Memphis, similar story. You are at 31 currently, climbing to 47 Tuesday, back down to 36 Thursday. Just cold enough to be annoying, not quite cold enough to be dangerous. Charlotte, you actually got snow yesterday. Some areas picked up 6 to 8 inches, and now you are dealing with melting during the day, refreezing at night. That's creating black ice concerns. You are at 26 this morning. You will make it to 43 by Tuesday, but Thursday brings you back to 35, and the weekend keeps you in the upper 30s. Your snow will be mostly gone by Wednesday, but road conditions stay tricky until then. The Plain States are in an interesting position this week. You're not getting the worst of the cold, but you're not escaping it either. Oklahoma City, you were at 33 today, mid-40s Tuesday through Thursday, then a cold front drops you to 39 by Friday. Not terrible, but another reminder that winter isn't over. Kansas City at 29 currently, rising to 44 Tuesday, falling back to 35 Friday. You might see some snow Friday night, actually, maybe an inch or two as one of those clipper systems brushes through. Omaha, you are colder. 22 degrees this morning, only reaching 38 tomorrow and staying in the 30s all week. You could pick up some light snow Monday night, maybe 1 to 2 inches, and again Friday morning with another 1 to 3 inches. Let me actually talk about Des Moines, Sioux Falls, and Fargo for a second, because the upper plains are going to see persistent cold all week. Des Moines, you are at 18 right now. Your high tomorrow is only 32. Wednesday, you reach 34. Thursday stays at 34. Friday, you drop to 30. And Saturday morning, you wake up to -2. That's a rough stretch. Sioux Falls, even colder. You're at 12 degrees currently. Tomorrow's high is just 28. You stay in the 20s and low 30s all week, then Saturday morning takes you to -6 with wind chills approaching -25. Fargo, you are living in the freezer, -1 degree right now. Tomorrow you struggle to reach 20. The entire week stays below freezing, not just mornings, but afternoons too. Saturday morning you hit -12. This is the kind of cold where being outside for more than 10 minutes becomes genuinely risky. Now I want to address something that I know a lot of you in the Northeast and Midwest are thinking. How much longer does this pattern last? When do we get a break? The honest answer is that I don't have great clarity beyond Sunday. The extended models looking 8 to 14 days out are showing signals of continued troughing over the eastern United States. That means continued below average temperatures. But the intensity and exact positioning shifts around a lot depending on which model run you look at. What I can tell you is this. There is increasing concern among meteorologists about a sudden stratospheric warming event that's developing over the Arctic. I am not going to bore you with all the technical details, but essentially, temperatures way up in the stratosphere. We are talking 30 miles above the Earth's surface are warming rapidly. When that happens, it can destabilize the polar vortex. The polar vortex is this circulation of cold air that normally stays bottled up over the Arctic. When it destabilizes, pieces of it can break off and dive southward into the mid-latitudes, into places like the United States. This doesn't happen immediately. There's usually a lag of 1 to 3 weeks between the stratospheric warming and the surface impacts. But if this event continues to evolve the way models suggest, we could see another significant Arctic outbreak sometime around the middle of February, possibly mid-February to late February timeframe. I am telling you this not to cause panic, but because I want you to understand that winter is far from over. February historically is one of the snowiest, coldest months for much of the United States. We're only a few days into it. There's a lot of winter left. Let me go through some more cities quickly because I know I haven't hit everywhere yet, and you deserve to know what's coming for your area. St. Louis, you are at 25 this morning. Tomorrow climbs to 40. Wednesday you reach 44, but Thursday as high is only 37, and the weekend keeps you in the mid-30s. Some light snow possible Wednesday morning, maybe an inch. Cincinnati at 23 right now. You warm to 39 Tuesday, reach 42 Wednesday, then fall back to 36 Thursday. That Wednesday system I mentioned earlier could bring you 3 to 5 inches of snow Wednesday morning into afternoon. Columbus, Ohio. Very similar to Cincinnati. 24 degrees currently, mid to upper 30s Tuesday through Thursday, low 30s for the weekend. 3 to 4 inches of snow likely Wednesday. Grand Rapids at 17 degrees this morning. Tomorrow only brings you to 30. Wednesday reaches 33. Friday, you are back to 28 with that snow moving in. Could see 5 to 8 inches Friday into Friday evening. Green Bay, you are at 8 degrees right now. Tomorrow as high as 26. You stay in the 20s all week. Friday brings snow, probably 4 to 7 inches, and Saturday morning you wake up to -4. Duluth, Minnesota, you are in deep freeze territory. -7 degrees currently. Tomorrow you only reach 15. The entire week stays below freezing for highs. Saturday morning bottoms out at -15. Wind chills could hit -35. This is serious cold even for you. Frostbite can occur in under 10 minutes with those wind chills. Rochester, New York, you are at 16 degrees this morning. Tomorrow brings you to 29. Wednesday reaches 34, but Friday night into Saturday, you're going to get significant snow. Could be 6 to 10 inches, possibly more depending on exact track and lake enhancement. Saturday morning, you drop to 11 degrees. Syracuse, similar forecast. 18 currently, low 30s Tuesday and Wednesday, then Friday night snow develops. Totals could reach 8 to 12 inches through Saturday morning, given your typical lake enhancement. Saturday morning temperature around 9 degrees with wind chills near -10. Burlington, Vermont, you at 12 right now. Mid-30s Tuesday and Wednesday feel almost warm by comparison. Friday night snow arrives, probably 4 to 8 inches through Saturday. Saturday morning you hit 8 degrees. Portland, Maine at 15 degrees currently. You warm to mid-30s midweek, but Saturday is your snowy day. 6 to 10 inches possible. Morning lows Saturday and Sunday in the low teens, wind chills in the single digits or below 0. Bangor, similar timeline but slightly colder and snowier. 8 to 12 inches possible Saturday with Saturday morning temperatures around 5 degrees. Let me touch on some mid-Atlantic cities I haven't covered in detail yet. Baltimore at 29 degrees this morning. Tuesday you reach 44. Wednesday hits 46. That feels decent, especially after today. But Thursday as high falls to 39. Friday stays at 38, and the weekend keeps you in the mid-30s. You might catch some snow on the northern or western edge of that Saturday system, maybe 1 to 3 inches in the northern suburbs. Norfolk, Virginia, URE at 30 right now. You got some snow yesterday, not as much as areas further inland, maybe 2 to 4 inches for most of you. That's melting Tuesday as you climb to 50. Wednesday reaches 52. But Thursday drops you to 43, and the weekend brings upper 30s. Your snow should be completely gone by Wednesday afternoon. Wilmington, Delaware at 28 degrees currently. Mid-40s Tuesday and Wednesday. Upper 30s Thursday through the weekend. Light snow possible late Friday night, maybe an inch or 2. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 24 this morning. Low 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. Mid-30s Thursday and Friday. Friday night into Saturday could bring some snow, probably 2 to 5 inches depending on exact storm track. Allentown, similar forecast. 26 currently, low 40s midweek, mid-30s late week, 3 to 6 inches of snow possible Friday night into Saturday. Now, I haven't forgotten about the South. Let me give you updates for some southern cities that are dealing with unusually cold weather. Jackson, Mississippi, you're at 27 degrees right now. That's cold for you, but not record-breaking. Tuesday, you recover to 51. Wednesday reaches 54. The rest of the week stays in the upper 40s to low 50s. Much better than today. Shreveport, Louisiana, at 32 currently. Mid to upper 50s Tuesday through Thursday. Low 50s for the weekend. You re-escaping the worst of this pattern. Little Rock, Arkansas, 29 this morning. Low 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. Mid-40s Thursday through the weekend. Not great, but manageable. Knoxville, Tennessee at 25 right now. You might have seen some snow yesterday, maybe a coating to an inch in spots. Tuesday you climb to 44. Wednesday reaches 46, but Thursday drops you back to 38. And the weekend keeps you in the upper 30s. Cold for early February, but you've seen worse. Charleston, West Virginia, you're at 23 degrees currently, and you are in line for that Wednesday snow system I mentioned. Could see 3 to 5 inches Wednesday morning. Temperature-wise, upper 30s to low 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid-30s Thursday onward. Roanoke, Virginia, 24 this morning, low to mid-40s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid to upper 30s Thursday through the weekend. Possible light snow Wednesday, maybe an inch or two. Let me jump back to some western cities, because I want to make sure you know what your week looks like too. Denver, you're actually in a pretty good spot. 48 degrees today, well above normal for early February. You stay in the 40s and low 50s all week. That ridge building over the Rockies is keeping you mild and dry. You're one of the big winners in this pattern. Salt Lake City, similar story. Mid-40s today, upper 40s Tuesday through Thursday, low 50s this weekend. Dry conditions continue. If you ride a skier, you are not getting new snow this week, but conditions remain good for what's already on the ground. Phoenix, you are sitting pretty in the low 70s all week, mid-70s by the weekend. Absolutely gorgeous weather while the rest of the country freezes. Las Vegas, upper 60s to low 70s all week. Sunny, pleasant, no complaints. San Francisco, you are in the mid to upper 50s most of the week. A little cooler than normal, but generally pleasant. Some clouds Tuesday and Wednesday, but no significant rain expected. Portland, Oregon, upper 40s to low 50s all week. Mostly cloudy. A few showers possible Wednesday and Thursday, but nothing significant. Typical February weather for you. Seattle, very similar to Portland. Upper 40s most days. Cloudy with occasional drizzle. Nothing dramatic. Boise, you are running cold for your standards. Mid to upper 30s all week. Some light snow possible Wednesday, maybe an inch. You are on the edge of that ridge, not quite getting the warmth Denver sees. I want to come back to this stratospheric warming event for a moment because it's genuinely important for understanding what might happen in the second half of February. The polar vortex splits are relatively rare events. We see them maybe once or twice per winter in a typical year. When they happen, they can produce some of the most extreme cold outbreaks the United States experiences. The January 2014 outbreak, the February 2021 outbreak that devastated Texas, both of those were associated with polar vortex disruptions. Now, I'm not saying we are definitely heading for something that severe, but the signals are there for another significant Arctic outbreak around the February 15th to 25th timeframe. Multiple models are showing this. The European model is particularly aggressive with the cold. The American GFS is slightly less so, but still shows well below normal temperatures. What would this mean practically? It could mean another week or two of temperatures running 10 to 20 degrees below normal across much of the eastern two-thirds of the country. It could mean more snow systems, particularly for the Great Lakes and Northeast. It could mean heating costs continue to run high. It could mean continued strain on infrastructure, especially in the South where systems aren't designed for extended cold. I'll be watching this closely, and we'll have much better information about timing and intensity over the next week as that stratospheric warming event either amplifies or weakens. Let me touch on some cities in Texas and the Southern Plains because I realize I haven't given you detailed coverage yet. San Antonio, you were at 38 this morning, mid-60s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 60s Thursday, upper 50s this weekend, much better than today, but still running a few degrees below normal. Austin, 40 degrees currently, mid to upper 60s Tuesday through Thursday, low 60s this weekend, pleasant weather overall after today's cold start. El Paso, you are at 36 right now, low 60s Tuesday through Thursday, mid-50s this weekend, typical February variability for you. Lubbock at 32 degrees currently, low 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid-40s Thursday and Friday, Upper 40s this weekend. Some wind Tuesday and Wednesday could make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. Amarillo, you're at 29 this morning. Upper 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. Low 40s Thursday and Friday. Mid 40s this weekend. You might see some snow Sunday night into Monday. That S beyond our detailed forecast window, but worth watching. Albuquerque, URE at 34 currently. Mid to upper 50s all week. Dry conditions, lots of sunshine. Pretty nice weather overall. Let me circle back to some Midwest cities I want to give more detail on. Wichita, Kansas at 31 degrees this morning, low 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid 40s Thursday and Friday, upper 40s this weekend, light snow possible Friday night, maybe an inch. Topeka, 29 currently, low to mid 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid 40s Thursday through the weekend, similar light snow potential Friday night. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, URE at 21 degrees right now. Upper 30s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 30s Thursday and Friday, upper 20s this weekend. Some snow likely Friday, could be 2 to 4 inches. Davenport, similar to Cedar Rapids, 23 currently, upper 30s midweek, low 30s late week, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible Friday. Peoria, Illinois, at 25 degrees this morning, low 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid 30s Thursday and Friday, low 30s this weekend. Light to moderate snow. Wednesday maybe 1 to 3 inches, and again Friday with another 2 to 4 inches possible. Springfield, Illinois, 26 currently. Low to mid 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. Upper 30s Thursday and Friday. Mid 30s this weekend. 1 to 3 inches Wednesday, another 1 to 3 Friday. Rockford, Illinois, you are at 19 degrees right now. Mid 30s Tuesday and Wednesday. Low 30s Thursday and Friday. Upper 20s this weekend. Snow likely Friday, could be 3 to 6 inches given your proximity to lake enhancement zones. South Bend, Indiana at 22 degrees currently, mid-30s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 30s Thursday and Friday, upper 20s this weekend. Significant snow potential Friday night into Saturday, could be 4 to 8 inches with lake enhancement. Fort Wayne, 23 this morning, similar temperature pattern to South Bend, 3 to 6 inches of snow likely Friday night into Saturday. I want to address uncertainty one more time because I think it's important to be really honest with you about what we know and what we don't know. We have high confidence in today and tomorrow's forecast. The weather pattern is well established. The temperatures IV given you for today and tomorrow are very likely to verify within a degree or two. We have good confidence in the midweek forecast through Thursday. The pattern evolution looks consistent across models. That Wednesday system will bring snow to the Ohio Valley. The amounts might vary by an inch or two, but it's happening. Friday through Sunday, our confidence drops. Not dramatically, but noticeably. We re-confident that snow will fall across the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and likely the Northeast. We re-confident that temperatures will be very cold, well below normal. But the exact snowfall amounts, the precise timing, the specific cities that get the heaviest snow, those details could change significantly with each new model run. That's why tomorrow's forecast is going to be so important. We'll have updated model data. We'll have better clarity on whether those clipper systems merge or stay separate. We'll have refined snowfall maps and better temperature forecasts. So make sure you're rechecking back tomorrow. If you drop your location in the comments, I'll call out your city specifically in tomorrow's forecast with the latest data. Beyond Sunday, into next week, confidence drops even further. We can see broad patterns, continued troughing over the east, continued ridging over the west, but specifics are fuzzy. That is just the nature of forecasting at that range. It's not that meteorologists are bad at our jobs. It's that the atmosphere is inherently chaotic beyond about 5 to 7 days. Let me give you snow totals one more time for this Friday through Sunday period, with the understanding that these could change. Minneapolis, 4 to 8 inches, mainly Friday. Madison, 4 to 8 inches, mainly Friday. Milwaukee, 3 to 6 inches, Friday into Friday night. Grand Rapids, 5 to 8 inches, Friday into Friday night. Detroit, 3 to 5 inches, Friday night. Chicago, 2 to 5 inches, Friday into Friday night. South Bend, 4 to 8 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Fort Wayne, 3 to 6 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Cleveland, 3 to 6 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Buffalo, 10 to 15 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Rochester, 6 to 10 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Syracuse, 8 to 12 inches, Friday night into Saturday. Albany, 4 to 8 inches, Saturday. Boston, 6 to 10 inches, Saturday. Providence, 6 to 10 inches, Saturday. Hartford, 5 to 9 inches Saturday. Portland, Maine, 6 to 10 inches Saturday. These totals assume the European Model S phasing scenario. If the systems stay separate, reduce these by about 30 to 40%. Now let's talk wind chills one more time for Saturday morning because this is really important for safety. Minneapolis, air temperature -8, wind chill -28. Chicago, air temperature 4, wind chill -15. Detroit, air temperature 10, wind chill -8. Cleveland, air temperature 12, wind chill -6. Buffalo, air temperature 11, wind chill -10. Boston, air temperature 12, wind chill -5. New York City, air temperature 15, wind chill 0. These wind chills are dangerous. Frostbite can occur in under 30 minutes for most people, under 10 minutes for the most extreme values. If you need to be outside Saturday morning, dress in layers, cover all exposed skin, limit your time outdoors. Before I wrap up, I want to hit a few more cities quickly that I haven't covered in enough detail. Asheville, North Carolina, you got absolutely buried yesterday. Some areas picked up 12 to 18 inches. That's incredible snow for you. Today you're at 26 degrees. Tuesday you climb to 42. Wednesday reaches 45. Most of your snow melts Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday drops you back to 38. Weekend stays in the upper 30s. No significant additional snow expected for you this week. Greenville, South Carolina, you saw 6 to 10 inches yesterday in spots. 28 degrees this morning. Mid-40s Tuesday and Wednesday for melting. Upper 30s late week. Your snow situation improves significantly by Wednesday. Columbia, South Carolina, 4 to 8 inches yesterday for many areas. 30 degrees currently. Upper 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. Low 40s late week. Snow mostly gone by Wednesday afternoon. Myrtle Beach, you were on the edge of the heavy snow. Most areas got 2 to 5 inches, 32 this morning, low 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid-40s late week. Beach areas always melt faster, so you should be clear by Tuesday evening. Savannah, Georgia, you actually stayed mostly rain yesterday, but some areas north of the city saw a coating to an inch. 34 degrees this morning, mid-50s Tuesday and Wednesday, upper 40s to low 50s late week. No issues for you going forward. Tallahassee, Florida, 29 degrees right now. That's cold for you. Mid to upper 50s Tuesday through Thursday. Low to mid 50s this weekend. You re-escaping the worst of this. Orlando, 32 currently. Upper 60s to low 70s Tuesday through Thursday. Upper 60s this weekend. Much better than today. Tampa, 35 this morning. Low 70s Tuesday through Thursday. Upper 60s to low 70s this weekend. Back to normal Florida weather. Jacksonville, 30 degrees right now, mid to upper 60s Tuesday through Thursday. Low 60s this weekend, no lasting impacts from today, cold. Pensacola, 27 currently, upper 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, mid 50s Thursday through the weekend. A cool week for you, but nothing severe. Mobile, Alabama at 30 degrees this morning, upper 50s to low 60s Tuesday through Thursday. Mid-50s this weekend, cool but manageable. Baton Rouge, 32 currently, low 60s Tuesday through Thursday, upper 50s this weekend, much better than today. Lafayette, Louisiana, 34 this morning, low to mid-60s all week. You are doing fine after today. Let me talk about tomorrow specifically because I know a lot of you are planning your Tuesday. The big story tomorrow is the temperature recovery along the Gulf Coast and Southeast. If you in those regions, Tuesday is going to feel dramatically better than today. Enjoy it. Get outside if you can. Melt that snow. Check for any damage from today, cold. For the Midwest and Northeast, Tuesday is still going to be cold, but less brutally so than today. It is a transition day, the calm between systems. No significant precipitation expected anywhere in the country tomorrow. Some lake-effect snow possible downwind of the Great Lakes, maybe an inch or two in the usual spots, but nothing organized or widespread. Wednesday is when the next system develops. I've talked about it several times, but to recap, light to moderate snow for the Ohio Valley, parts of the Mid-Atlantic, West Virginia, not a blockbuster, but additional accumulation on top of what's already there for some areas. Thursday stays quiet. Friday, the pattern gets active again with those clipper systems. One thing I haven't mentioned yet, and I probably should, is the impact all this cold is having on energy costs. Natural gas demand has been extremely high. Heating oil deliveries are running behind schedule in some areas because of weather delays. If you on a budget plan for heating, you probably fine. But if you paying as you go, you might see some sticker shock on your next bill. This has been a cold winter. especially for the eastern United States, and that cold has been persistent. We've had very few warm breaks. That adds up financially. Similarly, road salt supplies are running low in some municipalities. I've seen reports from parts of the Midwest and Northeast that they are already at 50 to 60% of their normal seasonal salt usage, and we are only in early February. If you are driving in areas with snow this week, be extra cautious. Roads might not be as well treated as earlier in the winter simply because supplies are stretched thin. All right, let me bring this together and talk about what you need to know for planning purposes. If you're in the Southeast or Gulf Coast, your cold snap ends tomorrow. You're returning to more seasonable weather. No additional winter weather expected this week. If you are in the Mid-Atlantic, you have a few cold days ahead, but nothing like what you've already experienced. Wednesday might bring some light snow to western areas. The weekend turns colder again, but no major storms expected for you. If you are in the Northeast, you've got a challenging week ahead. Cold persists through Tuesday. Wednesday stays cold. Thursday stays cold. Friday brings snow for some of you. Saturday brings significant snow for many of you, plus brutal cold. Sunday morning could be the coldest of the entire pattern. If you're in the Midwest, similar story to the Northeast. Cold all week. Snow Friday. Very cold Saturday and Sunday. If you are in the plains, you are dealing with persistent cold, but not the most extreme stuff. Some light snow possible for northern areas Friday. If you are in the west, you are largely escaping all of this. Dry, mild weather continues. And looking ahead to the second half of February, which I know is beyond what most of you care about right now, but it matters, we could be looking at another significant pattern shift that brings even more cold. I'll have more details on that as we get closer and as the stratospheric warming event becomes better defined. The forecast I've given you today is based on the most recent model data as of this morning. Tonight's model runs will update everything. Tomorrow's forecast will incorporate that new data. If you want the most accurate, most up-to-date information for your specific city, drop your location in the comments. I read every comment, and I'll call out as many cities as I can in tomorrow's video with the latest forecast. This is an evolving situation. The weather pattern is shifting. Snow areas are changing. Temperature forecasts are being refined. One video can capture everything, which is why daily updates matter so much during active weather patterns like this. I really appreciate all of you watching today. I know these long-form forecasts take time to get through, but I think it's important to give you the detail you deserve. The 10-second sound bites you get on TV news Don T tell the full story. You deserve to understand what's happening and why. If you renew here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button if you want daily weather updates like this. And to everyone who's been here for a while, thank you for your continued support. Tomorrow's video will be up by early afternoon, probably around 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with updated snowfall maps, refined temperature forecasts, and specific call-outs for cities based on your comments.